Did you change it to Ethernet? Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Strength and Swings class. My name is Lauren.
Or Pebbles. And I'm Ian.
Yes.
And I hope that makes me Bam Bam.
Growing out my hair. It's a tough process. But tonight we will focus on our kettlebell strengths. I have 2 bells off to the side that we'll get using in a couple minutes. First, let's warm up, and then we'll get to our bell.
Right on.
Let's start gently at our feet, and then we'll work towards the floor where we'll do some wrists. As you start, let's peel the foot off the floor, meaning create tension by almost pulling on the floor to get to that demi point. Then use your toes to point. Allow the toes to gently flex over. Let's let the ankle wing out to the side a little bit. Pull it back through center. Wing it in a bit. Back to center. Now use those toes, push them into the floor to get to the tip tops. Through the demi point, heel connects, hips extend. Repeat on the other side. Feel that pull off the floor. Get that hamstring feeling. Get to the toe point. Allow the foot to gently roll over. From here, we winged it out to the side. We directed it back through center. We winged it in a little bit, back to center, then through the toes, back down. Heel pushes down, hips extend. From here, let's push into the floor and find a light balance. Get to a place you can go to, but also safely come home with nice straight knees. Let's repeat that one more time. Push into the floor, growing up to find that balance. Holding kneecaps pulled up, butt squeeze, core brace, and then keeping the knees slowly descend. Now let's keep those hips forward, but try to find a balance on our heels. Try not to let the butt stick out behind you, whoa, but stay nice and stacked. And then place the feet down. From here, we'll pull the knees towards over the toes, sitting low, and then we'll press the floor away again, extending the hips forward, squeezing the cheeks. Pull yourself down. It's the butt cheeks, not your cheeks. Push into the floor, squeeze the cheeks. This time we'll come to the floor, so our knees will go over our toes. The heels will slowly start to lift as we sink into that low toe squat. From here, our knees will do a nice soft landing. Let's squeeze the butts and our hips extend. Untuck the toes, pointing them straight back behind you, and then find a seat on those ankles for a couple seconds. Feeling how that feels through the tops of our quads, through the tops of our feet, maybe even the bottoms of our feet. And then squeeze the hips, extending them forward. And Ian, let's wrist it here.
Wrist it
Getting
up.
ready for a get-ups.
I just felt like I was in the back there. I wanted to come to the front.
Come on.
Hands to the floor. Start with the fingertips or underneath the fingernails first. So fingertips down first. Then callus lines. And then screw in those full hands. Blood donations forward. Armpits pulling down. How does that wrist extension today feel for you?
Feels good.
First, pull on the floor, hands to knees, and then encourage the shoulders to drift over top. That's extending on the wrist. Then push the hands into the ground that your hips and body go back. Stiffen the elbows. Pull, create tension between you and the floor. And again, extend on the wrist, meaning shoulders towards over top of those fingertips. Push the fingertips heavy and return to the back. Repeat that one last time. Pull. Tension in the hands in this moment. Apply that to our get-ups going forward. And this time, push so much. Flick the wrists. Shake them out. Quarter turn. Same thing. Fingertips. Check. Then that callus line, followed by the full hand placement. Elbows with the blood donation pit facing forward. I'll push to the right. My weight transfers left. Pushing to the left, the weight transfers back to the right. Repeat again. Push to the right, go left. Push to the left, go to the right one last time. And then return to center. Push equally in both directions to flick both wrists. One last movement, the underhand grip. Fingertips first. Callus lines next. Full hands to follow. At this place, push your pinky fingers heavy on the floor. And then relax. And then push your ring fingers heavy on the floor. And then chill. I like looking forward, but looking between those hands is the best place to do this drill. I'm pushing those ring fingers, maybe you are too, and then relax. I meant ring to
middle.
I meant middle. Oh my goodness. But press the index fingers now. Press those indexes. Press those thumbs. Press all 10. Create tension. Then bend the elbow. Peel the hands off. Flick through the wrists. and add our little bit of our shakeout. From here, let's just walk ourselves to our low squat. So hands on the floor, you could widen your stance and just groove out in what we've called our coffee time squat. I wonder why we called it that. But hanging out in that low squat, build strength, build endurance, build some familiarity, keep those heels heavy, and push out from center and extend those hips to tall. Let's do that one more time. Pull. Create tension pulling. Our practice today will finish with goblet squats. Maybe this is your goblet squat. Maybe you're a little bit wider, but build some variation, ins and outs of those hips as you spend time in that coffee time squat now. But take a breath in, brace the core, and core tension to stand. And we're going to go back to Lauren.
Pull ourselves back down.
All right.
Pulling ourselves back down into that squat. From here, we're going to walk ourselves into our high plank or the top of our swing position. So hands will come down. You'll walk your hands forward, your feet back, whatever needs to happen in order to establish your high plank position. Your hands are spread out wide on the floor, shoulders pulled down under your ears, hips tucked, connecting them to your ribs like you could take a punch in your abs. Your butts are all squeezed together. Your kneecaps are pulled up. Everything's really tight for 3, 2, then step your feet back to that squat stance. Push your hips back into that low position. Let's hang out for a couple more seconds, imagining we're enjoying a nice cup of coffee like Playgrounds Roast found on our website. Then we'll walk ourselves back out, holding that high plank one more time. Hold 10 seconds. You're at the top of your swing. Shoulders pulled down, glutes squeeze, core brace. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, step your feet back to the squat position. Walk your hands back, chest lifts, drive down and away, up to tall. Shaking it out in between. Here we're going to warm up for 2 rounds with some single leg hinges and some push-ups. So let's first start with our single leg hinges, body weight to start today. With your feet in your swing stance, chop your hips back, keeping a nice long spine. Your shins should be vertical. Right now, push your weight over to a single leg, pointing the other leg out long. Connect to the toe to the floor the whole time. Draw a quarter circle all the way around to the back. Lift the hip a little bit just to verticalize the shin. Roll over the foot and vroom, stand up tall. Step, hip hinge, repeating on the other side. Transfer that weight. Try not to change your hinge position as you transfer to a single leg. Long, long, and then lift the hip a bit all the way up to tall. Repeat one more time on each side. Hip hinge. As I transfer this weight here, I hold that hinge position, reaching out the back, lifting the hip just a little bit. Now, as I stand up, I think about that femur rotating or driving through and step, or that hips moving on top of the head of the femur. Last hinge. Transfer your weight. Reach along out the back. Lift the hip just a little bit. Feel that load in high hamstring glute.
Pow.
To tall. And shake.
The shake. From that shake, let's set up the 2-footed hinge again, and this time, a slow version of our push-up, prioritizing our core tension. Hip hinge, back. Then bend those knees forward, reach to the floor, and set up your high push-ups position. Modify from the knees if you need. From here, the butts are squeezed. Pull those hands and feet together, and for 10, 9,
What's happening? We're
8,
lowering.
We're lowering ourselves. Sorry, Lauren. We're lowering ourselves for 5, 4, 3, and soft down. Now tuck a chin. Scoop those hips under to engage the core, and as a single unit, press to the top. Repeat one last time. Pull yourself down, drawing those elbows into the ribs. Keep your hips higher than you think you need to. Keep the core engaged, and come to the floor. Then, chin tuck. Tuck the hips. Core brace.
Yep.
Use the floor to push yourself back to your 2-footed hinge. Extend those hips through. Shake, wiggle, roll, and do it one more time.
One more time. Back to those hinges again. As we do this, we're trying to wear that load on our hamstring and our glute, as well as our core, just like we will in our swings. Hip hinge, nice long spine. Transfer that weight. Try not to change anything as you shift. Connect all the way to the back. Lifting that hip or verticalizing the shin of it and then all the way through. Butts. Other side. Chip chop. Transfer the load. Keep that toe connected. Make this a nice smooth move as you reach out the back. Shin vertical, and then wapow. One more time each side. Check in with yourself, feeling how it feels in between each side. Is one leg easier, harder? Which side is it? Is it the side that hurts sometimes, or is it the opposite side? Don't be in pain. But check in with where that's coming from. Vertical to shin, and one last time, all the way to tall. We'll shake it out, push up one more time, and then get into some get-ups.
We'll be pressing in today's practice to hopefully getting towards sets of 5. So for today, choose a number of push-ups towards that number 5, and one more time on the floor. Set up the hinge, check. Hands to the ground, walk back to your high push-ups position. Pull yourself down and up. 1, down, up, down, up. 2 more. Hi-ya. And practice those full body tension techniques. Walk your hands to feet or feet to hands. Hinge through and up. We have 2 kettlebells, or I will have 2 kettlebells off to the side. I'll be using my heavier kettlebell right now to do my get-ups, and that'll make our presses later feel lighter. Grab your bell of your choice or groove it with your body weight, and let's follow along with Lauren as she takes us through 1, 2, and then 1 get-ups.
Get to the floor, no hands.
Done.
Nice. We're gonna do 1 get up on each side, followed by 2 get ups in a row each side, followed by 1 get up on each side. If you don't know what to do, follow along. Come on down. No matter what you're doing for your get up, you're starting in your cuddle. It can also be a body weight exercise if you don't feel comfortable using your bell today. Bottom hand grips close to the pinky side, 2 hands on, cuddle roll, 2-handed press. Setting up in that get up position with the shoulder packed and that knee bent. Pushing the foot in the floor, extending the hip and pulling on the elbow. Finding your hand in that tall sit, pushing the floor away to bridge and sweep. Hand leaves the floor, hips extend. This is where we start to look forward. We use both legs to get ourselves back up. Repeat the down, step back lunge, controlled descent. That front foot opens. Rotate, hinge. Stack those shoulders, then sweep. Find the elbow and press away from the elbow to get to the back. 2 hands, pull down. Return to the cuddle. Let go. Spin yourself around.
First one's always heavy.
I was gonna say.
First one's always heavy.
But the second one, feel good. Now we know what it's like. Start again in that cuddle position, other side. Roll and press. Using that hip drive, pull. Find the hand, bridging the hips, sweeping the leg. Keep that back toe tucked as you press the floor away. Front foot and lunge. Control the down. Step back lunge. I saw that hand, Ian. Rotate, hinge. Stack the shoulders. Sweep. Elbow. Press away. And pull the bell down with control. Let it go. Take a second off. Rotate yourself around.
I was looking for extra tension out there.
Sometimes Ian gets droopy hand.
No droopy hand.
No droopy
Find that
hand.
tension.
We'll perfect that in our presses today. All right. Whether you use the same bell for this next one, you go down, or you do 1 with the weight, 1 body weight. We're going to do 2 get-ups in a row. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Same side. Here we go. Always starting in the cuddle. Roll press. Take your time. Each move independent as you work yourself up through the get-up. Moving around that bell. Finding the strength in each position. And taking the time on the way back down. When you get to your back, keep the bell up in that firing range position and do it all again. Pull, press, extend. Feeling that load staying stacked and keeping that lat engaged. Trying to keep the elbow nice and straight this whole time. And slowly to your back. Pull the bell down, Return it to the floor with control. How'd that go?
2 of them. Getting groovier, if I might say so.
Getting groovier. Me too. Still felt a little bit. I haven't used this bell in a couple weeks. We went on vacation the week before last, and I took my lighter bell. So just getting it back here.
Getting the groove.
Back to the cuddle and press. Here we go. 2 in a row again. Other side. As you sweep here, really try to think about those toes staying tucked so that you can use both legs to help you in the lunge. Keeping that nice long spine as you come towards the floor. And pressing to the back. One more time up. Breathing when you feel it's necessary here. But keeping that tension in the core brace. Or that shield as you work here. Finishing with control and pull down. Whew. You know what's great about doing 2 in a row? It makes 1 in a row feel simple.
So I think that means we have 1 more.
This is true.
We can talk if you want and just chill.
For like a couple
For
seconds.
a couple seconds.
This will be 8 get-ups here. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Nice, solid, full body activity. Enough of that chit-chat. Let's go. 1 last get-up each side. Find that stability before you even start. If you're just spending time in your firing range as we work through this get-up, that's a great way to get strong underneath the bell. The average get-up takes about 30 seconds, meaning that those 2 in a row, you're under that load for about a minute. Control the descent and cuddle. Nice. Take your time as you spin around. No rushing this get-up. Nice and controlled. 1 move at a time. All right, this is our last get-up here. Whew. Roll and press. Here we go. Step by step. Nice, that vertical arm, that rotation around the bell as we hinge to the floor. Finding the elbow and pressing away, controlling the down. Excellent. The only rule is stand up with no hands.
Step by step.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby. Oh, yeah, I can't say that without thinking of NKOTB. But getting those steps right, just like getting those letters right in the name, not easy.
I'm going to stop these wonderful dance
moves. You can stop those.
And instead, I'm going to switch my bell out. We're going to be swinging a little bit right now. And I'm going to go down a bell to swing just to make sure things feel good. I might switch it out halfway, but we'll see. So we've been going in our past here as an I go, you go, or I go and then Ian goes. But today, we are going to do on the 30-second swings. What that means is I'll tell you when to go. We're going to take a single arm, and we're going to do 5 single arm swings on the 30 seconds. Park the bell. We'll shake it out. We'll have about, I think it's like just over 15 seconds off. And then we'll do the second arm on the next 30 seconds. We're going to do 5 each side, then maybe 6s, then 7s, then 6s, and then 5. So 5 rounds. You can also keep the number 5 the whole time. I'm going to start this count in 5 seconds. What this means is you're in front of your bell. You're going to set up in your hip hinge. Grip pack, 5 swings. And park. Up without. Good. We're breathing in between, shaking it out, staying loose. Remembering this is our more advanced class. We break down the swings tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in our beginner bell class. If you haven't swung like this before, I suggest you do some other things first. 2, second arm. And park. Some hallmarks we're thinking about when we swing. is that core brace at the top, that plank we warmed up with. Retracted shoulders. Anything? Oh yeah. Retracted shoulders and both hips coming through. We're gonna maybe do a set of 6 here. 3, 2, 6. Park. Nice.
And parking and breathing. And I do have my mic off during that because listening to one of us breathe might be just enough. But making sure that we can take those slow ins, slower outs. Looking at that clock, it's time to go.
In 3, 2, 6 on the other side. Or the same number. Always parking that bell with control just the same way you pick it up. Breathing in and out the nose. Forcing that exhale. Allowing that nice inhale to oxygenate the blood. Get ready in 3 seconds. We're going up to 7 swings. 3, 2, 7. Parking. Breathing. Staying loose. Shake out that grip. We're swinging as high as that chest level. Nice straight elbow in front. Head is neutral the whole time. 3, 2, second set of 7.
We talk about that efficient versions of our swings, making sure that the power stays the same throughout. Don't save it. Use it all, and if your number descends from 7 to 5, that's okay. But that time comes around quick.
3, 2, we're back to 6s. 6. And park. Did you count right, Ian?
I started just a second behind.
All right. Your swings might match our pace. I also noticed that my swing is a little bit off than Ian. A little bit of size difference, a little bit of power, but keep it quick. 3, 2, round whatever number this is, 6. Nice. That was round 4. We have one more round here, and we're finishing this back with the number 5. 5 sets, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5. We'll continue building on this, getting back towards that 10 number if we feel the desire. Ready? 5. Good.
5. One more time.
One more time. As we finish this last set, keep that hinge. Keep loading up the glutes as you push your hips back and drive both hips through at the same time. In 5, 3, 2, 5. Last set. Let's park the bell, close our mouth, open our nose, and try to do about 30 seconds of nose breathing here. Taking that nice inhale and force the exhale. Inhale and force the exhale. Continue this for about 15 more seconds. At the same time, you might be shaking out ankles and wrists, forearms and grips. One more breath like this. Now just take note how you're breathing. Did you recover fully in that 30 seconds? It's a little bit more elevated. Work towards that full recovery in that minute-ish time.
Got it.
All right. It's time.
It's time to press.
Press.
Time to press. We'll be going forward with this I go, you go series of presses. So with a cheat clean or a clean of your variation to the rack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On that right side, I'll park it. Then it'll be Lauren's turn to go 5 repetitions as well. Follow one of us, enjoy rest with one of us. Don't do all the reps. That's a lot. We'll be doing this for 5 rounds, and I'll be starting. 5 repetitions of our overhead press.
This is 50 presses total here, 25 each side. Grab a bell, cheek clean to that rack, 5 control presses. 2, 3, 4. I'm counting that for you so you have that cadence as we do reps like this. Team Lauren.
And Park. Shake it out in between sides and practice full body tension techniques. Lauren's hand is stiff out at the side, butt cheek squeeze, abs can take that punch, and the breath on exertion. Return. Not to rush between sides, but let's get going again. I like my 2-handed clean.
Using that 2 hands to rack, not spending too much time in that rack position and presses like these. It's down, it's back up. Don't rush it, don't bob out of it, but have that control in the rack and be able to press back out. The more time you spend in rack, the less likely it's going to get overhead.
Whew. Are you able to hit 5 reps? If so, keep going. If that rep starts to descend, maybe lower the load that you're using, or be very happy with that 2 or 3 repetitions that you're working on. Work to 5, but work sub-failure. Really? That was 5? That means it's our turn again.
Round 1.
Shake it out. Starting of round 2, 5 reps.
Round 2. Team me in here. Again, when you're doing these presses, it's not just that shoulder working. It's our feet rooting into the floor. It's those kneecaps pulling up in those quad powers. It's the butt squeeze as well as the core brace to shoot energy up.
Whew. This I go, you go lets us take about as much rest as we are working. Pair that 1-to-1 work-rest ratio for strength and to continue to work on that endurance. Hiya. Looking good, Lauren. And that breath. And Park. I'll get a couple extra seconds in between, so I'll take those extra seconds still. But let's set up behind the bell. Tell yourself you got this.
You got this.
And we'll do it.
Using that hinge again, racking. Good. That strong exhale as you can hear that in Ian's mic likely as he presses there. Keep that abdomen pressure when it gets that rack position, almost holding your breath in a sense. Don't pass out.
Those shakes in between can help keep things nice and loose. Your grip strength is going to be working hard. Your breath will be elevated. Give yourself that feedback. That's just okay. And we can also be a little bit loose in between these moments of high tension, like Lauren's press. I love set 3, particularly set number 5, because that means we're on our way back home after this. So 5 reps, set 3.
Set number 3 here. As we press here, we're doing this because our overhead mobility allows us to. If this doesn't feel good in your shoulders, maybe you're practicing something else, like a high tension plank or that push-up position. Be smart so you can do this for a long time.
We want to do this forever. That's why we're working those 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s. Take your time, build your strength, stay strong, and maybe look to Lauren for some impressing inspiration.
Oh, you can't make jokes like that when
jokes.
I'm impressing.
No jokes.
All right, Ian.
Second side.
Finishing up the set 3 here from that rack position. As you're pressing here, making sure as well that wrist is nice and straight and strong. You might feel the load of the kettlebell in the back of the arm. That's normal. You kind of just have to deal with that and get used to it. I like to say you have to build up some arm meat for that pressure.
Muscles everywhere. The muscles of the pinky finger that grip it, that turn on the rotator in the shoulder, and then all the stuff in between, and then all the stuff returning that energy to the ground. Stay strong. Root your feet. Squeeze your bum. Earn those strong 5 reps and return. I like set 4 too, because that means there's a little bit less to do as we go through. So here we go, 5 reps.
Really, you just like every set after 1. All right, use that tension. That off arm has power too. The feet are rooting. I like to look straight ahead. Ian looks slightly up. I would suggest just not looking down when you're pressing. You want the bell to go up? Look that way-ish.
Think up. Oh, my breath is getting challenged, so the words might become a little bit less, and maybe you're grateful for that too. But the press stays strong. Use a lighter load. It's okay to drop down a load. Stay strong. Finish your groove like Lauren here. And shake out. Set 4, second side.
Have some pep talk noises, some pep words, whatever you need to get this bell overhead with strength, control, and sustainability.
Lauren alluded to it earlier in our practice that we're using a little bit lighter bells here than we have been in the past couple weeks. Why? Because we took a couple weeks off. Yes, we could probably do it with the other loads, but taking time, going back to those lighter bells or the basics will really help make the longevity and sustainability of your practice a part of your life forever. And now, set 5.
Set 5, final set here. Finishing up reps, 40 to 50. 5-ish at a time. Hopefully you've kept that consistent pace, that consistent number here. Nice. Whew.
The first rep might not feel like the last rep, but we hope that it looks like the last rep. The tension is the same, although it will be harder, but the integrity is there throughout. Stay strong, listen to your body. Maybe listen to me every once in a while, but mostly listen to Lauren.
I won't comment. Nice. 5 more reps here. Ian has some great things to say, as we all do. Use that power, pressing overhead. It starts in the grip. It starts in the feet. Grip both. Power to
There's
you.
our 5. Whew. This is the last set. Are you still with us? We love seeing a chat feature, although it's rarely used. We do love seeing the chat, or send us a direct message in an email later about what bell you're using, the problems or the difficulties in your own practice, or those things you're excelling at and would love to see more of, or add some variation with the mix-up. Shake it out. So Lauren, for that set, was using a 16-kilogram bell, that yellow one for you using those kinds of weights. And me, I was using the 24 kg or green. My goal is red. Lauren's goal is green, making that detour at the purple, normally pressing the 20.
Yes.
And I could talk more if it just delays the onset of these squats that are looming on our menu here. Does your body feel good for it? I guess I do too.
We're gonna go back and revisit the 30-second drill that we did with our swings. So we'll be standing over our bell, we'll hinge, pull, catch, grip in that goblet position, step to your squat stance, 5 nice controlled squats. When we're done 5, hinge to park the bell, shake it out, next 30 seconds, do it all again. You could do this body weight as well if you'd like. We're gonna go 5 rounds, which is 2.5 minutes. It's a hard thing to signal. 2.5 minutes, about 25 squats. So we're gonna start in 10 seconds again on the same number we did the last time. In 5, we're going at the same time. 3, 2, use your hip hinge, pull, re-grip, step to your squat, pull down, to tall. Continue at your own pace, but make sure when you're coming down into your squat, you're not just flopping, you're pulling, engaging the muscles on the down and the up. To park, use your hip hinge, put the bell down, up with control. Couple breaths.
How much time do we have off? 10 seconds?
To the 9, so 5 seconds.
Okay.
That old analog clock. 3, 2, repeat. 5 more squats. Up. That core brace. We're trying to get the butt below the knees, but not rounding that low back. This is 5, Ian?
That's 5.
Park. Sometimes it's hard to talk and count.
It is.
10 seconds off here.
This is where those shakes might come in handy. Whew.
It's me forcing my exhale for you so you hear that dragon breath. 3, 2, round 3 of 5. You're pulling down, driving away. Lost count again, had to pause and see what Ian was doing.
Let me know if that wasn't 5. We'll give a free coffee sample to you if that wasn't 5. I'm pretty sure it was.
Do it. In 5 more seconds, 2 more rounds. It's amazing what you can do in 2.5 minutes. 3, 2, zip, 5. Whew. And hinge. Up. Shaking it out. Remember, you still have a lot of grip when you do that. Shake out the hands. Keep the ankles and those quads loose. One more round. In 3, 2, last set here. 5.
One more.
Whew.
And down.
Park with control.
And shake. Add those wiggles.
Let's do that same 30-second breathing drill we did before. So at your own pace, that inhale, forcing the exhale. Inhale, fill. Exhale, force. You should notice as you do this, you start to slow down your breath. You start to gain control of it. Maybe even that heart rate starts to slow down. Nice. And shake it out. That was excellent. We'll finish today's class with a little hip opener. Sound great? Let's come to the floor via our kneeling or our toe squats. That's where we press our knees over our toes. We peeled our heels up off the floor. Woohoo!
That's harder now.
Feel those quads. Place the knees down, extend the hips. We'll take one leg out front into that kneeling lunge position. From here, maybe hands on your hips, whatever you'd like. Let's tuck the hips under or squeeze that back leg cheek. With that back leg cheek squeezed and that hip slightly tucked, you should already feel a little bit of something in the front of that hip. Now to add on to that as well, to get a little ankle mobility, we'll push down in that front leg and pull, gently drifting the knee towards over the toe. As you're doing that, you're still extending or squeezing that back cheek. Stay where you are, but relax. Retuck and squeeze the back cheek. Stay tucked under, keep that tension, maybe drift a little bit further forward. Now we're gonna push down and forward, and we're gonna get back to tall. As we get back to tall, keep extending that back hip. Meet it, meet it, meet it, and then relax, easy off. Whew. Let's zip that leg underneath, pull the other leg up front, and do the same thing on this side. Whoops. That back toe is tucked ideally. If that's too much pressure on your knee, you can straighten out your back foot, but make sure it's pointing straight behind you. Tuck the back hip under by squeezing the cheek. Gently stay here and just feel that warm up in the front of the hip. Then we're pushing down and pulling a little bit and drifting that knee towards over the toe, keeping the back hip extended. Stay where you are, relax. Retuck and squeeze. Maybe drift a little bit further forward. Breathing. And then pushing down and forward, meeting yourself back up tall. Keep extending the back hip forward. And then relax. Whew. Let's press up out of that to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight on our Strength and Swings class. This is Bars and Bells in the online membership. My name's Lauren.
I'm Ian.
We stay strong with our kettlebells, our bar, and our body weight skills. So join us throughout the week. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our members is our beginner bell. Stay tuned for some upcoming schedule changes. If you're not a member, please join us on our website, barsandbells.com. As well.
Membership.
That's true. As well, if you're in town, we're starting up classes again in the fall. So please register and reserve your spot. Thanks for joining. Take care, stay strong, and see you soon.
Goodbye.
Oh, remember to like this video and subscribe.
Goodbye.